There
All
we
right.
go.
This meeting is being recorded. Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right.
Action.
Yeah. I don't put as much weight on the Grammys as I used to. And I don't have I don't know the same excitement. Like I didn't even know I didn't know when it was. I just feel like when it comes around, people talk about it.
Right. I start getting ads. When I
Yeah,
start getting like
right.
ads for the Grammys, I'm like, all right, it's got to be like at least a month away.
Yeah, yeah. And then it comes around, you get the ad tonight, 8 p.m. tonight Eastern, whatever. I'm like, okay. Like, cool.
It's usually people driven for me. If I like see someone I follow and they're like, yo, we just got nominated, or like, hey, we're gonna find out, you know what I mean? Like they're excited about winning or whatever, then I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta watch. I definitely was watching out for FKA Twigs.
Yeah.
She's somebody I really like. Like literally her whole rollout of the album, like I've been tuned in, and then she won
Mm,
for best electronic
okay.
album, yeah. And
Okay.
so that felt like I was like, oh shit, like that's crazy. I just saw a whole rollout lead to a Grammy. You know what I mean? Like as a supporter,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but other than that, really didn't give a fuck. Um, but it was nice seeing people win
Yeah.
that I've heard of, or I'd be like, oh, yo, they're from the DMV, or like they make good stuff, or like, oh, they were due that recognition. So yeah, some people were saying it was actually good. You know, there was like a lot of people that were deserving of, some recognition that got it. Um, but yeah, it's not. I don't know. It's never supposed to really reflect
Yeah.
musicality. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So.
And Junie was nominated too, uh
Mhm.
for Destiny's Joint
Yeah,
songwriter.
and I wanted him to win so bad
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because he actually, yeah, I really, but he's young. He has time.
For sure. And I think kind of the way I'm seeing it now is just more confirmation rather than like acceptance.
Hmm.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's what it becomes to you at a certain point. More so confirmation than I won a Grammy, I made it, or I'm validated. I feel like
Right, right.
you get that um, fulfillment before you even are nominated.
Yeah, it's really the validation and
Yeah,
honestly, like the optics of being even nominated. To be honest, um, nominated, but like winning it is like that's like valuable in the marketplace, the music marketplace. You know what I mean? Just to be
yeah,
like, oh, especially if you get on like newspapers or like real press, right? We're talking about like serious press. That's something that goes in like the beginning of your
yeah,
bio. Grammy
yeah,
Award winning, Grammy
yeah.
nominated.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Because that is universally people outside of music recognize that as like, oh, you're notable in
Yeah,
your field. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly.
So that's why it's so important because it like transcends music almost because of
right.
the award itself. So
Yeah,
um,
a badge, so to speak.
yeah, it really a badge of relevance or a badge of excellence, really.
Yeah,
Um, so
yeah. I just stopped putting so much stake in. I have to do this. It's really just like a milestone. Really just confirmation. Like you're on the right path. You're on the right path. I guess you could say.
yeah, in a way, I don't know. I would feel like it was so crazy talk like hearing all the people that won saying they're like 20 years in, like in that 15 to 20
Oh,
year
yes.
mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I remember this one marketer I follow on TikTok. He was talking about like Olivia Dean, like she won Best New Artist, right?
Mhm.
and she's been in this for like 20 years, like 15 like years, and like she's
Yeah,
had the same manager for like 10 years or something.
yeah,
So it's just funny how like some like people in their like mid 30s, or I mean I don't know how old she is, but let's just say, you know, in her 30s or maybe getting there, and
yeah.
it's just like, yeah, she's winning best new artist. Or like FKA Twigs I was telling you about, like she's been in the industry for like 10 years already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like now she's getting album of the year. You say the same thing about Kalani. So
Nah, yeah.
it's just
10 years.
like crazy, like
Yeah.
how we, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just the industry. It's like you can't really be stuck on that. You know what I mean? You can't really be waiting for recognition.
It
In
doesn't
this, it's brutal.
time doesn't exist in music.
Yeah.
It's everybody's literally on their own timeline, and if you don't respect that, that's when you start setting expectations and getting disappointed and comparing yourself. Like there was
Yeah.
this post, I saw a post the other day. It was just, it took Lucky 9 years to break. It took so and so 12 years to break, and I sent it to Nas, and he already kind of, he knows this and
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
and understands it. But I'm like, look, like this is normal. What's not normal is blowing up after a year, blowing up overnight. Like
Which is
that's not.
insane pressure. Like that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Like, um, God, I'm forgetting Tyler the Creator's manager, Christian Clancy. He was saying that like one of the worst things that can happen is like getting your hit, like your big hit, and you're not ready, because then people actually treat you like a main name. You know what I mean? Like a big name. It's kind of like, all right, you dropped a song, you know, that did like 1 million views in like a week or like in a couple months. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then now you have the pressure of following up,
Yeah.
touring. You know what I mean? Like everything that
Yeah.
comes with the package of it. It's kind of like right now it's at your doorstep. Whereas the slow burn of becoming that artist is something that is actually better for you.
Yes.
And everyone
Truthfully.
that won had that. You know what I mean? That they've
Yeah.
they've already had they have like huge audiences built throughout the years. Like Kalani, like bro, we've all heard of Kalani for years, you
Mm-hmm.
know, or Twigs, or yeah, just a lot of the people that won. You know, Shabuzi, you know, he's been having a really great time the past couple years.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, it's timing is interesting.
Yeah. And that development that you get from being in the game 10 years is irreplaceable. You can't
Hmm.
have it become that guy and then just expect uh I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's something you don't know or you don't feel unless you're going through it.
Hmm. Yeah, bro.
Like I couldn't imagine my song blowing up overnight. What about Post Malone? What do you think about that? Like,
Um, it feels like a different time,
mm-hmm.
like when that all happened, because it really was just like a, yeah, it feels like a couple of months, but I feel like I think he was already was he not making music before? I think
Nah,
he was like,
I think he was. I think he
he
was.
was, yeah, I think he was. It's just those songs just went up so crazy. But honestly, it's a testament to him because he kind of just didn't lose that momentum,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he like still stood in like the game and
Yeah,
like reinvented himself, and he was a, you know, he was a likable person. I think that's another thing too. It was like his personality, not only the music was good,
yeah,
but he was able to like capture it, and honestly he was ready for it.
yeah.
Like looking back, you know what I mean, now in hindsight, it's like it happened so crazy, but he was actually a person that could handle it.
Mm-hmm.
um but then again, that's not everybody at all. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? To still have like, he could still tour the US if he wants to, and still have sold out dates.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Um, So again, I feel like it's just realizing that that's not common. Like like you said, like even mentioning him, like to still have a career now
Yeah,
and it being better. Like no one's talking about those songs from when he started. I feel like what's really burnt to me is when people blow up and they're still talking about when they blew up rather than where their career is at now.
yeah. High school syndrome.
Right, exactly. Like that I think is a bit sad. But that's just me. You know what I mean? Hey, if you're that song is still paying you and providing for your family, go off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I feel
And
like
that's like stop pushing it. Like
mhm.
always push your music, old, new, but don't identify with it so much.
Yeah, I think it's a detachment thing,
Yeah.
honestly. Because then I don't know, it feels like all the power is in other people's hands. You know what I
Mm.
mean? If you don't detach from like your work, because then you could like look at Pitchfork or Pigeons and Planes or whatever, read something about your project, and you're kind of like, I really rated a 6, you know, and it's kind of like, oh, I need those ratings for, you know what I mean? Like if I had a high score, it could get me da da da.
Right.
And so it just really sucks because I think press is like really important,
Yeah.
especially the higher you go. Um, so yeah, man, I don't know, it's so personal. It's such a mental thing. Um, so it's kind of like, yo, if you can't handle a hit, maybe there's a reason why you don't got one yet. I don't know. Maybe it's a divine intervention that you don't have
Mm.
your songs working. Sometimes I think that.
Or I'm noticing just a rejection of how music is actually broken or pushed. Like now we see, artists going on streamers, like streams and uh I mean, of course, obviously doing the basics, the content and things like that, but just the way music is discovered is so different.
Yeah.
I see even like the older generation, you got, your Joe Buttons and Cameron and Mace, like they have podcasts now.
Mhm.
Like people who are moving with the times are doing well, you know? And I think the ability to adapt is just very important.
Yeah. It's everything because um your inability to adapt I think leaves you stagnated. Especially like as an artist. And who's to say this always makes me think about that Erica Badu thing she said to Childish Gambino. There's like a story where um like Gambino was like, "Oh, like I just want people to really like my next thing going on and I'm kind of, nervous to put it out." And she was like,
You said that?
"Yeah, yeah. Yeah."
Damn.
Um and then she was like, like all you really have to do is like put it out, whatever you
Yeah.
think is best, and people will digest it in whatever way. But your job is really just to serve it. But it's kind of like this notion of like you don't know how it's going to be consumed, but you shouldn't really fixate on how it's consumed because that's like a dead end essentially. So, hey, like your song might get pretty up just from like being heard in the stream, being heard in the store. Like literally a song that's going viral for me is a content creator made a song about it while he was in a store, like in New York, and then that went viral. It was just like him dancing to it and everything. And
Yeah.
so to me, I'm kind of like, whoa, that's crazy. Because it's so off the cuff and like silly and it's just so like unrehearsed, you know what I mean? But it's led to something really significant, you know? But I'm not sitting here thinking like, oh, You know what I mean? It needs to be appreciated in a whatever, in a club or in a venue or
Yeah.
in a mix.
All you have to focus on is just being prepared for it,
Yeah,
right?
like giving it. You know what I mean? Like the song is out. If it resonates, that's your only job, you know? But the thing is like you have to tell yourself that as you keep on creating. You know what I mean? Because I feel like people get stuck on like, yo, I have to make my song like this so it gets felt in this way. You know, you're always trying to like set the conditions in which people enjoy your stuff. It's like, hey, this
Yeah.
is how you get my music. It's kind of like, bro, what?
Yeah.
But provide the context. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do, but it's kind of like, bro, people gonna digest it the way they digest it. Like, people are gonna listen the way they listen to it. So it's tricky. It's tricky. I think.
I don't think it's kind of like you know that quote by Warren Buffett. I think it's like time in the market is better than timing the market.
Nah, I've never heard that.
Basically, basically just saying uh don't 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 try to make a hit, but be prepared for when you get one.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Because it's
yeah.
unpredictable. There's no telling what will blow up or how.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you're prepared for it, you have systems in place to handle that amount of attention or revenue, whatever the success looks like, you're gonna be fine. And it's kind of like a combination of just being prepared, both externally and internally. Like know why it did well when it does, so that you
Mm-hmm.
can not necessarily replicate it, but you can understand
Right.
why it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe that's why I don't put so much energy into. I can't wait till I win a Grammy, or we're gonna make something to intentionally win a Grammy. It's like nah, because I have no control over that. I don't have control over other people. I only have control over myself. So it's understanding what I'm best at, how to best articulate that through the music, um, and be prepared for when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how we never know what resonates. That's what's funny about putting out a project or really releasing anything. You know, especially for me where I release a lot of stuff. And I kind of like that now. It's like that thing Russ said. It's like let your supporters choose your singles,
Mm,
you know? And I think when I've tried to implement that, I've already realized like sometimes I see people buying certain tracks all the time, and I'm kind of like, okay. And it's almost like, oh, I already knew that was like I liked it, but
yeah,
I didn't make any final decisions on it. But I'm always
yeah,
like, okay, I hear you. You know what I mean? That's like me, like
right.
putting the audience in like my decision making, and
Uh,
like what Rick Rubin says, like the audience comes last. But
mm-hmm.
I always found like I've already kind of prioritized myself, you know.
Yeah.
But I've put it out, and I've let people that support me
Mm,
come
mm-hmm.
into it. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
started with me though. I'm like,
Right.
yo, I'm making drums like this. I'm adding, instruments like this, whatever.
Right.
And then I was like, listen, but I'm going to do this to see, like, to have almost like a conversation with my audience in some way.
Yeah.
And I think that's important now more than ever because it's like to me, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like the art kind of the artistic genres we're falling victim to becoming too concerned with the audience, like we're becoming too like interested in how they feel and think, that we're losing our spontaneity, like losing our just like our weirdness in a way, like in
Mm,
our decisions, because we just don't want to waste, quote unquote waste Like we don't want to make the wrong decisions. We don't want to drop stuff that isn't going to be accepted.
Mm.
And so we're just falling trap of like putting the audience further ahead. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
they should be last and considered, but we're putting them ahead and it's controlling everything we do. And that's when you don't become someone who can adapt. You know, back to what you were saying earlier. Like, because that's, you're going to be like, oh no, I have to do it this way. I have to keep posting like this. I have to keep dropping songs like this. And I've fallen victim to it too. So that's why I felt like it was worth mentioning. So I don't know if you see that too, but to me, I feel like I've been seeing it a lot more.
I mean, I see it. I see it now. Um, Now that the industry is kind of going a little bit, not a little bit, it's going more towards direct to consumer and community based type of engagement. I see people going one of two ways. It's okay, I have to build a community now. Let me cater to people.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess let me do what's popular to build that community, or um, let me build that community through just being myself, and whoever connects with me, that is what I will pour into.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see. And it's the ones who just naturally pour who find success and are able to build that group of people, and then the ones who just kind of ride waves, I guess you could say. Those are the ones who kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm noticing.
no, and I think that's a good point because to me, the main difference between what you just said was like mindfulness. You know what I mean? It's like the person that fizzles out is the one that isn't aware of what's going on.
Right.
Like, what is the reaction to what I'm doing? Like, is this growing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because honestly, I think the main thing is to actually have, are you building a community? Like, do people actually care? I find that a lot. Like, bro, like there's artists with tens of thousands. Hey, let's just say thousands of followers, and they can't sell 50 tickets.
20, 25. Oh, yeah. I was about to go lower.
I was gonna go lower too. I'm not even gonna lie. I was gonna go lower too,
Yeah,
but to me, that is
50's all right.
worrisome. Like if you can't
Yeah.
do a ticketed event where you are the main person and not sell, let's just say 50, and you can't sell 50, I think there's something really wrong with your quote unquote community or your supporters
Yeah.
and how you're talking to them or like what you're revealing about yourself and do they actually feel a part of something. And to me, I noticed that, so funny. I think the people that do this best are actually like vocalists, like people in like the R&B space or the pop or like the indie space, because they kind of tell stories with their projects. Like they tend to. I feel like that's more likely to happen with those genres to me.
Yeah.
But when I look at like trap, like some electronic music genres, I don't
Yeah.
really see something where you're like it's not, there's no narrative. There's no like intentional narrative you're putting out where people are getting excited for a rollout. Most of the scene.
Yeah.
You're a bigger artist, you've found a way to do that. But I feel like we're kind of getting to this point where people aren't really excited to go to people's shows because of how artists are operating. Because it's like, oh, why am I
Yeah.
excited? Why am I excited to go to your show when you play all the time? Or vice versa. You don't play any shows. And whatever you're posting doesn't
Mm.
make me excited to leave my crib and spend not only the ticket, but the transportation and my time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's bro, it's like, I don't know. I don't I honestly I don't shit, I know what I'm trying to do. But at the same time, it's kind of like
Mm.
I'm worried for the scene. Like I'm worried for what an artist is becoming because of this.
I think it's just it's another adaptation. Like we there was a point where you could just be an artist. Now you have to be an artist and a content creator and your own accountant and your own toy manager to to a certain extent until a certain in your career. Nobody's spoke on now you have to be a leader.
Mm,
You have to learn how to lead.
yeah,
It's not a me selfish pursuit.
yeah,
Building a community means a community needs a leader,
yeah,
somebody who understands these people and caters to them and adds real value to them. And I think that's the missing link is artists just don't know, well, I'm not all, but most artists don't
good
know
chunk.
how to lead. They haven't, yeah, they don't have those qualities, and that's just another thing added on, another requirement, prerequisite, really, um, to being a successful, specifically independent artist.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
never really thought about it that way.
no, bro, that's like literally what you said is just like a main, like just a huge thorn. I feel like in a lot of artists' career because that takes so much responsibility, and it's like a huge role to have a group of people that are willing to do a lot for you. Let's say you get to a point, let's say it's 100 people, um, that are willing
Mm-hmm.
to buy tickets to your thing, willing to buy stuff from you, willing to hear you out when you go live, whatever it may be. That's a
Yeah,
responsibility, and not only is it a huge role and it requires you to do more, there's also the aspect of a vision. So it's not even about like giving value, but it's kind of like what is the growth in this? Like where are we going?
yeah,
Because a lot of artists, again, it's plug and play. Once something works, oh, this is the way I give value, so I'm going to keep rinsing and repeating without really taking
right.
any risks or bravery. To me, that's not really vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or if it is, it's very short sighted. You know,
yeah,
I think now we're just at a point where you have to really embrace the longevity. It's not even being a leader. I think it's being a leader that can last. And I think the only way
yeah,
you can be a leader of a
yeah.
community is really to lead your own shit. To almost do this as
Right.
if it's like you're watching yourself. You're like, where can I take everyone that even I would enjoy and I actually have the endurance to do that? Because once people start coming along with you, you're like,
Yeah,
oh yeah. If anything, you feel better. You feel stronger because the people are here for you. They're actually here for you, and you're doing something it's very honest. You know, it's an honest way
they
to
can be
go
honest.
forward. You know what I mean? It's authentic. I think that's a better word.
Yeah,
It's an authentic journey. So again, a lot of this
I
is like it's a
think.
lot of maturity. I don't know. It's really, yeah, it's really to the heart.
Yeah, it
It's
is,
really to the heart.
bruh. It's personal growth disguised as a music career.
Yeah,
Like
bro.
that's where we're at, and that's kind of why I respect LaRussell so much,
Yeah, I'd
is
really.
because his value is happiness. I don't listen to LaRussell. I
You'll
can't
have to listen to a song.
name yeah, I can't name one LaRussell song or anything like that. But what I do know is how involved he is with his fans. I know that he throws shows in his backyard. I know that he sells uh, gold passes to his shows for his,
Mhm.
most loyal supporters. They can go to any show that he does. I know the important things. You know, and that goes to show that you can build a community in music without people knowing your music.
Right.
His value is just positivity, and the same way people will always need uh food to survive. Like people are always gonna happiness is always gonna be in demand. You know, killing your ops is not gonna gonna be in demand when you're 50.
Yeah. Hey, man.
And that's not to say don't speak your truth in what you experience on a day to day, but understand that I'm not trying to hear that when I'm 50 years old. You're not trying to make that when you're 50 years old. I hope not.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough because as anybody trying to help someone else in this, there's a there's only so much you can do. And I think that's something else I've been realizing with having a bunch of friends who are artists is that I can't
Yeah.
really paint your picture, you know? All I can kind of do is like steer you along and ask the right questions to probe, to help you see that. But I think for me, like no one could have told me about what I'm doing now. Like no one could have advised me. Bro, you know me. I watch all the podcasts and all the da da da, whatever, all the Kanye shit from College Dropout, whatever, all the shit that came out around that time. It doesn't matter. It's just like there's only certain doors you have the key for. You know what I mean? And so you have to put yourself in a position to walk that way. And that tends to be one of the hardest things to ever do. So yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. How are you feeling? We got 4 minutes left. So what do you think is
Kind of good.
yeah, what do you think is a way to close this out from talking about the Grammys to this? What do you think is the way to go in terms of like artist, like really the rebirth of an artist? Because I feel like we're constantly being born and dying again.
It's kind of two things. It's one, learn learn your style of leadership.
Hmm.
Don't just master your craft. Don't just network. Don't just find your sound, but study leaders. You know what makes a great leader, for one. And I think you had sent me this post of a clip from the Joe Budden podcast when he was reading
Yeah,
something by another person, basically explaining um, it's a and you can help me out too. It's your nervous system.
yeah,
You know
yeah. It's how much
the
your nervous
industry
system can handle. Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
That how durable are you?
Hmm.
So if you can find your will or find a way to stay in the game long enough, as well as master your style of leadership, the world is yours. Now,
Hmm.
of course, the foundation is music. Make good music, make relatable music, and make something of value and substance, whatever, wherever that lies on the spectrum of substance. But those two things, and you're good. You're good.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, bro. We live in the best time for this. I keep telling this to people, and I think I have to realize that you can't really make anybody see the light. And I really mean that from like you can look at light as optimism, hope, whatever it may be. But the only thing you can
Mm-hmm.
really do is to be the example of it. And so when people see you do it, they're like, "Oh, that's what it is." They could see it through your action, you know? And I feel like the more people doing like really great rollouts or really just doing this in a very authentic, honest way, that inspires others to do the same thing. So I feel like it's a
Right.
culture change. That's really all it is. Maybe in 5 years we're not gonna be talking about this because it will become a norm. You know what I mean? And in
Yeah.
that case, there'll be something else. There'll be something else that is tough to incorporate to actually be the artist you want to be. So yeah, man, that looks like that's a wrap, to be honest. So
Needed that. Good
yeah.
clarity.
So what are we calling this? The Paradox Show, the Paradox series, Paradox Cast. I don't think I can hear you.
Paradox. Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, good. That's what.
I just enjoy.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'll see everybody on the flip. That's a wrap.
Fair. All right. Do I just leave?
I was kind of waiting for it to close off on its own. It just seems more dramatic.
Nah, this was cool. So like you said, I guess 2 platforms. These clips we could do really